It's a trade-off that the organizations struggle to make without the clean data, because again, it's easy for them to have the stopwatch, but there are things that you can do to make the 5-minute waiters mad. And those are often softer things that are hard for them to measure, but are swinging NPS in very large amounts.
Jason, great to see you. How are you?
Very good. Good to see you too, Melissa. Always happy to talk.
Thanks. Of course. Today we're going to talk through the grocery industry and some of the things we're seeing.
Yes.
There's always so much going on in this space. But before we dive in, let's start with some introductions. Would you like to kick us off?
Yeah, sure. Jason Barrow, founder of the NPS Prism business.
And my name is Melissa Kane. I'm a senior manager with NPS Prism, sitting across all of our U.S. retail instruments, which cover pharmacy, convenience, home improvement, and grocery.
Terrific.
So we've got a lot to cover today. Let's dive right in. When we think about broadly some of these beloved brands, I might be biased, but a lot of them are grocers that are topping that list.
It's true.
I'm seeing a lot of grocers with not only loyal shoppers, but these customers can almost be a fan base.
Yeah.
People who not only like going to the grocery store, they camp out for store openings. I've even seen kind of social media accounts out there highlighting new products, taking you for a tour through the store. Let's start big picture. What are we seeing out there? Do a running down of who are the leaders and what are they getting right?
Yeah, grocery is super interesting. It's a very emotional thing for customers, and almost anybody you run into has an opinion. And as you said, there are lots of beloved brands in this space, from the H-E-Bs. Every Texas friend of mine that I know talks endlessly about H-E-B. Costco, Aldi, Trader Joe's, Wegmans. These are all brands that we've heard of, and they're all up around NPS 60. This is one of those industries where customers in general can be quite happy. There are definitely brands who are 30, 40, 50 points behind the brands that I was talking about, but there are so many different ways to get to customer love in this industry, which I think is really quite intriguing and really highlights how there are so many different levers.
Jason, I think you're spot on about the optics and perception being everything for the checkout experience. I'm going to empathize that much more with the grocer when I see them doing everything they can, trying to work the lines and get everyone out of the store. I'm going to cut them a break. So really clear that we're seeing that in the data.
Yeah.
For shoppers that we're not seeing in store, the pandemic, we've seen a lot of focus and talk around in-store pickup, curbside pickup. Now, what are we seeing there? Is it all about convenience, efficiency, getting in and out really quickly, watching the stopwatch?
Yeah, so similar to checkout. I think there are a couple of stories worth telling about this. I think number one, this is one of these markets where it's not clear digital wins in the end. This is one where we do see some preference from customers to get back into the store post-COVID in a way that we haven't necessarily. Some other industries, this really tilted the world to digital in some permanent way. I think there's always going to be fairly sizable residual preference for, I want to walk the aisles, I want to choose my own stuff. That said, these digital experiences, including these pickup experiences, have become much more ubiquitous and much more important to customers who are at least using it as part of their shopping routine. But as you said, this is not just about wait time. There are all the other things that matter, like, was it obvious where I'm supposed to go? Did I get notified in the right way? Was everything clear? Did I get lost in the parking lot? And then obviously, did you wait matters? And the wait time for that is closer to 10 minutes than 5 minutes before you get super mad. But then there are some of these soft things that matter too. Like one of the things that we found super early in the reads is that there's what I call the sloppy pack rate. This is basically if they put the stuff into the bags and into your trunk in a way where stuff's hitting other things that it's not supposed to, or things break, or things are like, was the pack done well, actually matters quite a bit. And I even had one grocer client at the beginning where they realized that the trade-off that they were running on wait times versus clean packs was off. Like, you were better off with a 10-minute wait in a clean pack as opposed to a 5-minute wait in a sloppy pack, which I think is, it's a trade-off that the organizations struggle to make without the clean data. Because again, it's easy for them to have the stopwatch, but there are things that you can do to make the 5-minute waiters mad. And those are often softer things that are hard for them to measure, but are swinging NPS in very large amounts.
I think you're totally right there. Again, it's before you click the stopwatch, that's a really clear number to work off of. But some of these can also be quick wins, right? Better signage, clear transparency that your order's ready and that it will be brought to you versus acknowledge you're here. I think that all those things are really important to get a read on when we think about the curbside or in-store pickup. So I guess before we wrap things, I guess we'll just close out with, are there any really memorable, good, bad, or ugly experiences that you've had in a grocery store?
So I talk about Trader Joe's a lot. Trader Joe's just entered into my neighborhood in New York and has vastly improved our shopping experiences. It's like a mini microcosm of how our data works, because the existing grocery store on our block used to be fairly busy and filled with fairly unhappy people. And the amazing thing is, as soon as you put an NPS 60 grocery store 2 blocks away, that grocer just completely emptied out. And it sort of happened overnight. And we'll still have moments where we will walk the 3 blocks, see how busy the store is, and turn around and come home. But we're not mad at Trader Joe's. We're like, that's our fault. We tried to go at a time we weren't supposed to go. And we'll just it's not like we're going to go shop somewhere else. We will just go back to Trader Joe's in a few hours. But it's like, it has been such an improvement in the experience and the quality of the product and the friendliness of the people that it's completely flipped the market overnight. And it sort of just shows what's happening, writ large across the market. But I've got to see this very closely in my own little neighborhood, sort of all at once. And I find that quite remarkable. It's like all everybody talked about. It was the big topic in the building was, oh my God, Trader Joe's is finally here, which, nobody talks about the bank that opens down the street or, even the restaurant that opens around the corner. The degree of conversation about, oh my God, this thing is here. How is everybody liking it? What do we do? When do you go? It was an amazing amount of word of mouth in the neighborhood, and it flipped the market instantly.
Yeah. And that's just some of those intangible things that you can't always quantify. Talk about referrals when you're talking amongst neighbors or friends, and where you go and what you're buying and who your favorite checkout attendant is.
It even showed up, we in our building, there are lots of dogs. And the interesting thing was, it also flipped over, the doormen have dog treats for all the dogs. And within 2 weeks of Trader Joe's opening, these were all Trader Joe's dog treats. And the dogs clearly loved them. It was even for the pets in the building, this was a momentous occasion that Trader Joe's was now here.
Oh, I love it. Well, this has been such a fantastic conversation. I mean, what a time to be watching this space and seeing all of the grocers out there continually pushing forward. It's really just a great time to be a customer. Thanks for taking the time. Can't wait to talk soon.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's so nice to catch up, Melissa.